No, do I? No.
You're right, all teeth.
How?
That's your kissing face.
Yes, they look. This better not make it into the episode. Because if someone was listening to just the audio with no context, they'd be like, what is happening? Oh my god.
Do I need to fix myself?
Yeah. Welcome to the Feral and Unfiltered podcast. I'm John Fuckface. And this is my co-host, Giggles McWetpants. And I'm Cat Jack.
Fuck.
No, you're supposed to introduce yourself. And go.
Okay, we're starting.
You want to take it again?
No.
She wants to keep it. And
I hurt so bad.
and on today's episode, I'm the only one drinking.
She is. Oh man, that was. I need a minute.
You need a minute to recover?
Yeah.
We haven't started yet.
I know.
We could take it again.
Oh god.
This is a mess. That's all it takes. If you're watching this at home, does this get you? I don't know. You can't slouch down defeated because you're not framed up anymore. Be a professional.
God.
This is...
You got me hyperventilating so bad.
Okay, making you laugh so hard you think you might die is definitely my life's mission, but I don't know if it's gonna make a very good episode.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I fucked up and I looked at her.
You did.
You can't look at her.
Is it hot in here?
Just you. The theme of today's episode is embarrassing moments that still haunt us. And I think right at the top of this list for you should be this one.
No.
I have no shame in this moment.
Oh,
I know
God.
I'm weird. So embarrassing moments that still haunt us. The stuff that wakes you up in the middle of the night.
Just, you go first.
I have a lot of them.
Oh, man.
Oh, God. So I do have that time I accidentally got high on the sales floor.
No kidding.
So, yeah. This is one that still, like, it still gets me to this day. And the manager that it happened with he's retired since. I don't even have to see him every day anymore. Although I did love him dearly. But, so I was a brand new sales rep, working in the timeshare industry and, in the phone sales office. And when you're brand new, that thing that people tell you when they call you on the phone and they're like, our calls may be recorded for quality assurance and training purposes. The calls really are being recorded, and someone probably has their cams on and is listening to them live. That's a thing that you're, like, aware of when you work on a sales floor. And I have, a long time ago, I was in a really terrible boat wreck. We'll tell that story another day. But I've got a bunch of recurring injuries from that. I broke my back, I broke my knees, I broke my neck, I broke my head, I died. It was like a whole deal. And because of that, if I, like, take a wrong step while sneezing and looking slightly to the left or something stupid like that, like, my whole back will go out. And I'm a brand new hire. I'm still in the probationary period. I mean, this is years ago. And so I can't, like, call it off, but, like, this happened, right? I'm coming back from lunch, and I'm walking back in, and I literally sneezed while turning my head slightly to the left. Can't do that. I'm an idiot. Why would I think I could do that? and just the whole back went out, and I was in my cubicle on the, you're supposed to call it the sales floor. Don't call it the cube farm. They don't like when I call it the cube farm. It's a cube farm. So I'm walking back into the cube farm, and I'm going back to my cubicle, and I'm just in so much freaking pain. And my neighbors in their cubes next to me are like, they're like picking up the vibe, right? Yeah. And I've taken all the ibuprofen, I've taken all the Tylenol, like in between dials. I've got tears streaming down my cheeks, like I can't sit in my chair correctly. Yeah. This chair, actually, I stole this from the sales office. That's also a story for another day. Maybe a story for later today. But I can't even sit straight. And finally, one of the girls next to me goes, "Hey, I've got a vape pen." Right? She's got a weed vape pen. And she's like, this'll help. And I'm like, no, because I'll imbibe, right? I'm not a nerd. I'm not square, right? I'll get high, but I'm not going to get high at work. I'm not one of those people where I'm not a stoner where I can go to work stone. But I'm like, at this point, I'm desperate. And I'm like, okay, but we're going outside because I'm not rude either. And I take seriously, like 2 little baby puffs, right? And that's it. And I'm like, okay, hopefully this will give me just enough relief that I can get through my shift without calling off. Because I've worked there maybe 60 days. And I go back in, and it does start to relax the back pain a little bit, and I start to feel a little bit better. And I'm in the middle of a sales call, and I'm talking, and I go through my process, and I'm feeling pretty loose. I'm starting to feel pretty good, and I'm like, oh crap, am I stoned? I can get through this. I know my script and everything. Mm-hmm. And I get to the close part of my process, and I give her the quote, and I'm like, in any other day, it would normally be a change to your monthly payment of about $1,580, and today it's only going to be $825. Right? And the sales process starts at no. You expect him to say no. And you're supposed to know what to do in that moment. But I give her the price, and she goes, $825? And that's when the vape takes me over, right? Like a demon. Like I'm possessed, right? And what I hear coming out of my mouth, and I'm as surprised as anybody, I am most of the time when I'm talking. But in this moment, I hear myself say, yeah, but what even is money, right? And she goes, excuse me? And then I see my manager run out of his office because he had been listening to me. And he's got his cans on, and he goes, did you just say what even is money? And I was like, yeah, I did. Like, would you give me just a moment, please? I'm going to check on that pricing for you. And I put her on mute. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And he goes, are you fucking high or something?
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And I said, because I couldn't even lie. And he goes, why? And I'm like, I hurt my back. Somebody gave me a vape. He goes, who gave you a vape? And I'm like, I'm not a snitch. I'm not going to tell you who gave it to me. But I made a mistake. And he goes, okay, we have no lactating mothers on the sales floor right now, but there is a lactation station. There's a special room where women can go and pump or whatever. Yeah. They pump, right? I don't know. There's a certain situation that happens after you make people. Yeah. It's gross. To me, personally. But he's like, go in there. There's go lay down. Just, you go. And he basically put me in timeout. And to this day, that still haunts me. He was really cool about it. Because about 20 minutes later, he comes in and checks on me. And he goes, are you okay? And I'm praying for death because I'm horribly embarrassed. Because the theme of today's episode is embarrassment. And I'm like, am I in trouble? Are you going to fire me? Because I went under. He's like, I'm probably going to fire you. You have talent and stuff. But why did you do that? And I'm like, my back hurts so bad. I threw it out. I can't even sit up in my chair. And I was laying down awkwardly on this bench that they had in there. Yeah. And he goes, do you need to go home? I'm like, I obviously need to go home, but I can't drive. He's like, well, why don't you lay down as long as you need? And you can either go back to work when you feel better, or you can just go home. But next time, just tell somebody if your back hurts. I hadn't worked there that long. I didn't know I worked for good people. Right. Because, I work for a major corporation. You assume everybody is scumbags. And, the height of corporate evil. Right. You got to go in assuming that to just keep yourself safe. But it turned out I worked for very decent people. And they were like, oh, no. If you're in horrifying pain, nobody's going to expect you to sit there and produce. And he actually was like, hey, the fact that you did what you felt you needed to do to try to get through your shift, that's pretty admirable, but you can't say what even is money, right? You're in sales. And so that's an embarrassing story that happened at work. Now, this is 5.5, 6 years ago now, yeah. But my God. not my first sales job, but like I was new to that particular place, and like you have all the things where you're trying not to call too much attention to yourself when you're a new hire, and then also I called a bunch of attention to myself, and also I behaved like a dumbass, and it had all the layers, man. What even is money, right?
What even is money?
Yeah. Don't say that if you're in sales.
Should be a shirt.
Yeah. And by the time you see this, it will be. What even is money, right? Okay.
All right. What's another prompt?
Well, you gotta share an embarrassing story. We can't.
But
just
see,
do...
like,
you never do anything embarrassing.
No, that.
No. I think we're all watching her embarrassing moment right now.
I'm gonna cry. Why are you like this?
I don't know.
No,
But I'm not gonna not be.
Okay. What is another thing?
Okay, alright. We actually today we asked AI to make us a list of podcast prompts to see what it would come up with. So
it made me spit. I'm sorry.
You're drooling?
No,
I need a helmet.
No. Stop making your kissy face. That's bad.
Yeah, this one seems appropriate. Friendship in your 30s. Why it's harder than dating. Oh man, making friends ever has never been easy for me in particular. Because I've always been this weird.
Yeah.
But I wasn't always this well spoken. I used to be this weird with far less social tools. Not good. But yeah, as I've gotten older, making friends has been incredibly difficult. The worst part of making friends is like trying really hard to make friends and you think you've made a friend.
Yeah.
And then friend breakups.
Yep.
I would rather smash my own fingers off with a hammer than go through another friend breakup. Like, so you're stuck with me. I'm not going through this shit again.
Yeah, I think it's exactly that. Because I know for us, our similarities in making friends here in Forks is you meet people and the people that I've met obviously gone. They won't watch this because fuck it. But
they might.
They might. I don't give a shit. Move to Philadelphia. You deserve it.
Damn, bro.
No, it's. I think it's standards for me. Well, when you get older, you want to make. Well, for me, I make friends, just every which way, and
you're very personable.
I am. I like to meet people and have a good time wherever I'm at. But when you start doing that for a long period of time with people you think are cool, and then they turn out not to be cool, you're like, where did this come from, and why am I suddenly the asshole?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you're just like, oh, that's a bummer. I'm not gonna talk to people ever again. And then, well, even though that's a lie, God, I was really fortunate to run into you though.
Yeah, that was the same.
Mm-hmm.
Same. For one of the things that's been hard in general, like before I even lived in Forks, but also since moving to Forks, is when you're married, and we both are, not to each other, despite what you're, I mean, not yet, anyway.
Yeah, with that kissy face, I mean,
but we both have husbands, and so when you're married, like you tend to want to find other married people.
Yeah.
Because you're on the same, the same frequency, and finding what you think is a cool couple, and then it turns out they like low key hate each other's guts.
Yeah. Oh, the little snipping that they would do.
Yeah.
Passive aggressive. Comments.
Or they pretend that like they're always like cute play fighting, but it's not really cute.
It's cute that we hate each other, right? You're like,
no, I don't like that. I don't like that either. It's a bad vibe.
Don't like it.
So I've had some friendships implode just because like I could not handle the crap vibe. Like I like one of you, but then the spouse sucks.
Yeah.
That's always rough. I had a bestie for a little while in Vegas, and she had a habit of just always dating just the worst dudes possible.
Yeah.
Like super toxic, emotionally abusive, manipulating, gaslighting a-holes, and it was super obvious to anybody looking.
Yeah, and then she's wondering why she's always having like these issues.
Yeah, always wondering why she has these issues, but also again, why I'm the asshole for being
Right.
like for not liking that guy, or I'm the
Right.
asshole for being like, babe, you deserve better,
Mhm.
or you know, and you can't. Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always rough. Oh, and then making friends, and then when you start to experience some personal success, can those friends hang?
Right.
Like,
right.
there's a lot of, it's a lot, one of the things people don't tell you is that a lot of people are super cool and will be there for you in times of, like, distress and stress. And people can handle that. People can handle things hitting the fan. They're like,
Yeah.
they're ready to fucking be with you in the trenches. But if things are going well for you and are not going too amazing for them, watch people change. Like, people who aren't ready for your success. And I am a highly motivated and highly driven individual. I require a certain amount of success for myself. I require a certain amount of, you know, both in my career, with my hobbies, with anything I do, I'm going to, like, I don't go anywhere to aim for the middle. And neither should, like, whatever it is I do, I'm going to work my ass off until I'm the best. I don't, like, show up being the best. I'm not fooling myself like, ooh, I'm the best that there ever was or anything. But, like experiencing success in commission-based sales, you start making some real money, and you start actually being able to do some nice things for yourself, and you start, you know, being able to take care of your family, or do, like, have a couple of little luxuries and stuff, and you, like, all of a sudden you find out that the person that you thought was your friend is actually capable of some pretty inflamed jealousy.
Yeah.
Which is something I don't have the capacity for.
Well, and also just, like, with your success, also just changing up, like, your lifestyle, too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I also require a certain amount of change in my life throughout the years, because I can't be stagnant. Because then I get pissed off, depressed, bored, and I need something new. Like,
Right.
I can't be there. I can't be the same person I was last year.
Yeah.
And some people can do that for the rest of their lives, and that's okay. That's how they are. That's their avatar that they've chosen to be.
Right.
But I can't be that.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people are here to live the same year 80 times.
Yeah.
I'm here to live, like, 80 really good years.
Exactly.
And they're all going to be different. And so I'm really glad we connected on that level.
Yeah,
But one of the, like, really eye-opening moments of making friends as an adult is, like, which friends do you carry with you from childhood that actually make it into your adult years? And I didn't have that many friends in childhood anyway. No friends in actual childhood, just because of how we grew up. But in adolescence, and a handful of friends, and only one of them that's still my dear friend to this day. But there was this one, and I'm not going to name names because I don't want to be cruel, but there was this one friend that we were friends, and we met at the church. At that time, I accidentally joined that cult for a while.
I still love that story.
I accidentally joined a cult. It's a thing.
And the cult was like, you know what? We can deal without you.
Yeah, they didn't want me at all after a little while. I think we actually told that story on You Did It.
We did.
I have it. But anyway, when I joined Cornerstone, and then summarily got kicked out for being kind of gay. I mean, kind of gay.
Ha! Gay!
Yeah.
I get accused of it a lot. I don't think of myself as gay, but I'm not straight.
Definitely not.
I don't know, if you're funny and you're smart and you make me laugh, that's it. We'll get to what your gender is and your physical makeup after that. I don't care. Like, I'm genuinely not interested. It's those three things, check those boxes, then we can work with that.
Right.
That's the end. But anyway.
I hit them all in one day.
Yeah, you really did.
I should get a trophy for that.
I will make you one. We'll order one. But there was this one homie who, like, he grew up in the church.
Mm-hmm.
Like, raised in it. And when he saw what they did to me, he actually left.
Oh, wow.
Right, big deal. Like, highly ethical.
Yeah.
It takes a really intelligent person to be able to see through, like, the amount of crap that you've been raised in. And we stayed friends, right? Then we both grow up. He joins the Navy. I moved to Las Vegas. We're doing our own thing. And he comes and visits me like 6 years later. And I had already been through a lot, right? I'd already been through a couple of relationships. I'd been through a couple of different jobs. I was in the body cast for a Rocky Horror Picture Show cast. I had a stage show, like a live talk show that was also simulcast on the internet, and about BDSM lifestyle, because I was a professional dominatrix, and I had all these different things that I was doing, and a lot of different things I dabbled in, and made a lot of different friends. I think I'd changed my name 3 times by then. And when he came to visit me, he had a navy haircut, and that was it. That was the only thing that was different. He was right where I left him.
That is wild.
And yeah, and he was still the same sweet, good person.
Sure, I'm glad.
But we couldn't connect. And then he left. He was only there to visit for a little time when he was on shore leave. 6 years goes by. He gets out of the Navy. He decides not to re-up his contract. He comes back to Las Vegas to visit me again. I am now married. I have not personally made any people, but I do have 3 stepchildren and a grandchild. Because I don't step love my kids, right? Like, those are my kids. And and I was like literally in the delivery room when the first grandchild was born. Like, I was helped with the delivery. The first voice she heard on planet Earth was me going, "Holy crap!" Like that's my grandchild, right? She calls me Grammy. Wildly different from 6 years prior, where I was a dominatrix with a stage show and traveling on a speaking tour, and all like I had been through some things, right? I had changed, I had evolved, and I'm always moving and changing and evolving. And he shows up, and he no longer has the Navy haircut, but that's all that's different.
Jesus. Yeah.
And this isn't to make light of all of the myriad of thousands of life experiences he had in between when I saw him prior to when I saw him then. I'm sure a lot had happened. But at least for my base perception, there was no there. I'm like, you're still the same sweet, good person, and I wish nothing but the best for you, but what do we have to talk about? And it's not that you have to go do all these wild, irresponsible things that I was doing, but I would like you to have done something. Right? I'd like to be able to share experiences of having evolved and things like that. It's,
I mean, you want to share successes, failures, changes, and if they just say, "Oh, same old," you're like, then
those are words you'll never hear me say.
Yeah.
If anybody says what's going on, I've never said same old.
Because at the point, then the discussion is over.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah.
Like,
and so that's like a relationship that ends just from atrophy.
Yeah.
And then he moved to Vegas for a little while. I even got him a job working at the magazine that I was the marketing director of, and got him a sales job, and that did not go well.
Did you run him out?
No, I didn't run him out. He just couldn't sell. You don't have to run a salesman out.
Got it.
In commission-based sales, you don't have to run a salesman out. If they can't sell, they're not going to make money, and if they're not going to make money, they're going to quit, and they should quit. Like you should go somewhere where you can make money and live your life. Yeah. But that definitely worked itself out. But I mean, he was just miserable in the job that he was in. He wanted to know what I was doing because I seemed happy. I'm like, I am happy. I make a lot of money. People say that whole thing about like money doesn't buy happiness. That's a freaking lie.
It does.
It's a lie that rich people tell poor people to keep poor people from wanting their money, is what I'm convinced of. And no, money won't solve all your problems, but it'll remove enough stress that you can focus on what the actual problems are. Right? If you're not just trying to survive and stuff. And that was like
so much more freedom too.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah. And money won't buy happiness, but it'll buy freedom, and freedom will make you happy.
Yeah. Because in corporate America, the only way to be free is to be rich.
Yeah. So then I will be fine. Then that's what I'll do. Seems pretty easy, like to me. They print more money every day. Just figure out how to get some.
Yeah.
Without going to prison. Why make it harder than this? I don't know. Pick up a phone.
All right. What's
make
next?
It work. I don't know. We're at the 25-minute mark.
Are we really? Like,
well, you spent a lot of time
10 minutes of it is of me laughing.
Trying not to pee your pants. Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
You don't have to propose to me. Just use that face.
I don't know why that gets you, but I'll take it. Burnout in your 30s. Why are we so tired all the time?
because, at least for me, I'm still mentally like 18, but my body is not.
Okay.
So I want to keep doing the things that I used to do, but God, I'm in bed by 10:30. I'm just like,
You make it to 10:30?
yeah.
That's amazing.
I had to yesterday. I did not want to. I was falling asleep by 9. God, I hate the words that I just said.
So lame. I think burnout is, everybody experiences burnout. I think that our generation in particular, and of course we only have our own perspective to go off of, but
Right.
like, especially when I'm talking to like, because I'm also a sales coach, one of the main things that I help people work through is burnout, because you deal with so much rejection. So from like a career perspective as a salesman, I mean, you get told no, fuck you, 10 times for every one time you get told yes, right?
Mhm.
I mean, maybe you do. My close rate's about 40%, but most people's close rate's around 10.
And anyone else not in sales, they don't know these.
They don't know these
They
things.
don't understand.
But like when you still deal with a lot of rejection,
Yeah.
right? So I deal with, most of the people that I deal with, at least from a professional perspective, are also salesmen. And so there's the sales burnout. But like just burnout in general, like dude, it's 2025. We're millennials. The first memory that most of us have of being cognizant and aware of individuals kind of coincided right, or like it kind of got timed right with 9/11.
Yeah.
Right? So you have like this world changing, like this epoch shifting event. And then the whole world got different. And
The whole world seemed to like change every year after that.
yes. And then we've had like one freaking generation defining disaster after another, after another, after another.
Yeah.
And it all, for me, it all culminated, like where I divorced myself from the idea of burnout or participating in any of these guilt things or being worried about any of this stuff. For me, like for a lot of people, it was COVID. For me, it was Tiger King. And that's where I was like,
my God.
because we all got shut inside in 2020. We didn't, like, I remember before there was any kind of vaccine, before there was any, like, we didn't really know what COVID was. I didn't want to, like, is it in the air?
COVID did not help.
COVID did not help, for sure.
No.
But then, what is there to do but binge Netflix? And then there was this cultural phenomena of Tiger King, and I watched it too. And you probably did too. If you're watching this, your algorithm, you probably watched Tiger King, right? And it wasn't that it was good. It wasn't good. It was phenomenally bad. But it was realizing that they're, like, first of all, that these people existed. That, like, all of those characters that we were examining in Tiger King existed. That this was a uniquely American phenomena. And I'm like, oh man, I'm participating in the culture, that I'm consuming this media. I'm part of the reason it exists. Somebody made money based on my attention to it, and I can't look away. I'm like, oh man, we are all responsible. Like, I'm as morally culpable as anybody else. But tell me more about Carol Baskin, right? Like,
see, man, as soon as you said the Tiger King, I have to admit my burnout started a couple years before that with Honey Boo Boo. You remember that?
I saw the marketing for Honey Boo Boo. I managed to not see any of it.
I didn't either, but as soon as I figured out that those people existed, I was like, well, fuck it, I'm done.
Yeah,
Like, there's people like this. If there's one situation, then there's tens of thousands of situations like this, and I'm like, I can't deal with that kind of people in my life. Knowing that they're on my planet, I'm like, oh, I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done.
Yeah, you're on the highway with these people.
Yeah,
They vote. Like, you're like you. For burnout in general, it's just at this point, I think we're all so burned out, and like the company that I work for, I mean, you can earn a really good living, and the company culture has this culture of like management. They're all, I mean, honestly, really decent people. And I work with a really good team, but you're working for like this freaking Goliath of a corporation. Yeah. And I've worked there for 5.5 years, and I outsell just about everybody. I do incredibly well at what I do. But still, it's only get 15 days of vacation, right? Like, you don't have any time off. That's not time off. Like, not in a global world, like Europeans will take a month off, and that's still not all of their vacation, just to maintain their humanity, right? We're a first world nation. We've got like more wealth than anybody else, but we all die sooner. We're all, consume ourselves to that. Bourbon, by the way, for those of you who want to send gifts, my favorite beer is whiskey. If you ever see me in public and want to buy me a drink, the answer is bourbon. But it's just, and then you just watch all of like the immense evil that we're all dealing with, and it really doesn't matter which side of the ballot you voted on. Everybody's idiots. They have us all pitted against each other all the time. It's all like information overload, and all of it's fake.
All this is without talking about all the other social media platforms that are just in our face constantly too.
Yeah.
And not talking about the daily struggles that everyone has. So we're bombarded with stress every second that we're awake.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I'm burned out. I mean, that whole thing about I just want to bug out to the woods and start a homestead and never talk to anybody again. I'm doing it. I did that. I lived in Las Vegas. I bought a piece of property in the woods. I do have a homestead. I do have a garden. I brought my job with me, so I still work my corporate gig. I just work it remotely. Because it turns out like having a homestead is really nice, and growing all your own food is really nice and all that. But you know what else is really nice? Lots of money. Mm-hmm. I like it, and I bet you do too. And and here's the other thing. I know in the last episode we talked about my trip to President's Club and stuff, but all of like first of all, it was mostly men, because of course it was. There are very few women who made it to President's Club, but the women who did, like, they made like a really aggressive effort to be like really humble. And just be like, oh yeah, I'm just, I'm so grateful, and I can't believe that I'm here and stuff. And like all the men are like, yeah, fuck bitches, get money. And and you know what? I don't want to pretend that I don't like success. I don't want to, like, I think it's stupid that I'm expected to be like, oh, I'm just so grateful. But no, yes, I'm grateful for the experience, sure, but I earned this shit. I earned every one of these freaking trophies. I earned all of them. I worked my ass off for all 50 of these freaking things. And the idea that I'm supposed to be somehow, I don't even know, like very demure and like very calm and very reasonable about the whole thing, and I'm supposed to pretend that I don't even think that I deserve. Yeah, I fucking deserve it. I worked my ass off, and I don't want to pretend that I don't like money, and I don't want to pretend that I don't like success, and I don't want to pretend that I don't like being the best. I like all of those things. You know why? Because I'm a person. People like that shit. Yeah. That's another thing that'll make it hard to make friends.
God, I wish I had the confidence of a mediocre white man.
Yeah, I do, and it's great. And you should too.
How hard can it be? Boys do it.
Yeah, exactly. So like if you are experiencing success in your life, enjoy it.
Take it.
Yeah.
Rub it in their stupid faces.
If somebody gives you a trophy, say thank you.
Yeah.
If you want me to be a wingman, enjoy it. Enjoy it.
I can be your wingman.
You're an amazing wingman.
I am.
Yeah, you're always ready to celebrate whatever I'm celebrating. You're also ready to hate on whatever I'm hating on in that.
It's so much fun.
In that moment. Oh man.
This is why we work well.
This is why we work well. This is how you end up feral and unfiltered.
Uh-huh.
And that might even be a good note to end it on. I mean, we're at like the 35-minute mark. Who could possibly stand to listen to us for this long? You know, the only person who's still listening? Time for a recurring segment. Hi, Brandy! Our literally one's a fan. But what do you think? Maybe we'll call it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. Well, this has been Feral and Unfiltered. I'm Cat Jack.
And I'm Red.
And see us next Friday for Feral Fridays. Go to feralandunfiltered.com and buy the merch, which I'm assured that I'll have up by then. Support the podcast that supports you and all of the fucks that you don't give. Alrighty. We're out. Did we do it?
We did it.
Podcast!
That was a bad high five.
Oh, do again. Do you know how you...
That was a good one.
Do you know why? The first time I didn't look at your elbow. Do you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you already know that one?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't even impart knowledge right now?
No.
Oh. What's the
See,
point?
I have ADHD
Ugh.
knowledge.